So right now I am making a mounted creation, and I have this nice big chunk of wood that came off of probably a cedar tree. Can't really smell. Dust got in my eye, so I'm going to break off a piece because I think I'm going to do more than one with this particular piece. It's got some really nice moss on the back of it, and I am torn because I want to use this side for planting, but I don't want this to disappear. So what I think I'm gonna actually do is I'm going to mount it a little bit at an angle. So as far as I can tell at this point, I think there's a lot of rot inside of this, which is not bad. It's good, because that means the plant will have something to kind of grab onto. So I'm gonna kind of get some of that chipped out of there. And I think right here I have solid wood. Right here I have rot. So I'm gonna chip some out so that I make like a pocket to mount my piece into. And I'm totally gonna use some of this bark in my substrate as substrate. This is looking nice. So it's all chipped out. You can see that there were probably some kind of bug that bored these holes into the tree and caused it to die, or maybe they ate it after it already died. Either way, the tree is dead, and now it's going to live on by providing for another plant, which is very cool. So as I'm doing this, the song from the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs comes to mind. So look at all this bark we can use in the soil. So my idea is that I'm going to find a big rock to prop this up against so that we can see kind of some of that moss still, and we can also mount it onto this piece. So I'll be right back. Hey look, I found a rock. I think this is going to be pretty much what we're looking for. So I'm going to lay this, it's like a triangle. I'm going to put this bark, get down, come Spence. My dog jumps up into the tree to bark at people walking by. Okay, so we have our, this is I think a 12 inch saucer, and it's clay. So So if you use clay saucers on your wood surfaces, they are quite porous unless they've been varnished. So make sure to put something under this so you don't warp your wood surface. So here's my rock. Here is my rock. There you go. And here is my wood surface. I'm going to kind of do it this way. So it looks like, almost looks like Pride Rock. So on this side, some of that beautiful moss can still show. So, and then when I mount this, I think I'm going to build some kind of a little bit of soil or sand at the bottom to really cement it in. So the plant that I want to mount to this board is Caput Medusae, and it is quite an interesting little succulent type plant, and it grows all these little tendrils which grow into new plants. But this, I think, can grow as a, my brain's working really slow, something that grows and lives on other things. So if you know what that is, help me out. I'll be right back. This is my favorite soil fox farm, Ocean Forest. And so what I'm gonna do first is take this bad boy out of the container, and we're gonna do a bit of cleaning. See, that's already gonna look so awesome. Got this idea while I was up in Denver at a place called Birdsall and Company, which is a really cool hipster plant shop. And they had a plant, I think a lot like this, mounted on some stone. And I said, I think I can do something like that. So I'm just really carefully working the roots out of the soil, or working the soil out of the roots. Hopefully it won't get too mad at me. And then there's some gorgeous roots here. So that's pretty much done. Look at those roots. This has been in here for a minute. So I'm gonna stick this guy on here. It looks like an alien spaceship landed on this piece of log. And then I'm going to allow these little vines to kind of clamber upwards and make new little plants in these nooks and crannies. So, like that. And this one I think will look good living over in this region over here. See, look how cool that is already. So, then what we're going to have to do is add a little bit of soil back onto the piece. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of fishing line or twine, whichever I find first. And I'm going to kind of tie this onto the piece of wood for now until it really starts grabbing onto the wood. And it's going to look really cool when it gets bigger, because these grow way long and they're going to kind of be long and growing out, lots of little tendrils everywhere, and it'll look like it's just sprawling across this piece of wood. So maybe later on, when this little guy has done its thing or died, I will post an update on how it went, because I love to see progress. I think that guy's gonna live right around there. I'm gonna tie it down so that it's a little bit more. So that's very interesting. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna add, I think I'm gonna add some nice decorative sand to the bottom of this, just to really mount this wood down into the dish and keep it from rocking and possibly tipping. And then watering this guy looks like spraying it with a water bottle, or spraying it with a spray bottle. And I gotta cover up some more of these roots too. Misting it with a water bottle probably every 2 or 3 days, especially while it's getting reestablished, depending on how fast it uses the water. So that's gonna be fun. High five. See you next time.